like I can pass. It looks like a pass. Most of my leg locks look like a pass. Now I have the knee with I'm gonna fall next to her. And I look. No. It's a problem now. So I beat did some in Abu Dhabi, some in fights. I beat them with this because from Africa I didn't go for this move. Okay. Oh, cross.
And they don't expect, right?
No one expects this. It's so simple.
I remember when we were competing, people were like, you have to be really careful with leg locks. They would fight with him like this, and I'm like, putting the leg back. Okay.
Exactly.
So I'm here.
Step up. No. Just step up. Now sit. Oh, step up. Now fall. Sit. Yeah, sit. Yeah. Okay. I can't move anyone with this knee right now. No.
Nice.
Simple, okay? It looks like a pass. And you know what my friend Chaco does? Step up. He'll do this. Okay? Because you can't leg lock me now. But I mount the guy. Okay, Chaco, you jerk. I'll mount him. No leg lock now, okay? A good guard, leg lock is everywhere, right? So if they do that to you, pass the guard.
Yeah.
Makes sense? Okay, so let's look at this way
So
to go from half guard.
if they defend the leg, then you mount. Then you
Defend the
pass.
leg, exactly. So it worked out, okay? Very simple. There's also a knee lock from here, but we don't have time, so let's go. 1, 2.
So as soon as he puts his hand on the mat, I have a body, right? So what I want here all the time is like, he's gonna be here. Like, boom. I protect my upper body first. As soon as he comes, boom, there, right away. Always using my legs, and if I can hold on the back of his neck, right? Because I have to build this body. So, hand on the floor, omoplata here, omoplata here. Can choose which way. Doesn't matter. Once I do this, look, I unlock my legs, bring it out. Right? So what I feel is once I have this, it's already there. So I just take this leg out. I'm here. Okay? So once I'm here, I don't like to lock it. Why? Because I feel I'm very light on my legs. If he puts the weight on top of me, he comes and I have a hard time here. But once I do this, look, still. So I keep it tight, but I don't lock. Right here. Then I can come up, right, and do the techniques. And also that here, I like to come for the foot. Sometimes once you put his knee on my belly, right here. And you can add the details that he just showed us, right? Same thing, but with the omoplata. They put the knee here, very common. Once you're trying to come up, they put the knee. Wrap it, boom, ready to tap, all right? So just remember, thank you. Once they post hand on the mat, you can move, and you can choose the side. You know? Once the hand is on the mat, and you move your hips to the side, and you get it. Right? 1, 2, 3.
Would you like to focus on this motion or this motion?
You know, I don't like to hold my leg much because I feel I get stuck, go there. People do this, you know, and they get stuck. So, yes, it's my hip. My hip turning is gonna take my arm. You know, I don't do like strength to move my arm away. Just my hip goes and helps.
Interessante colocar falar sobre os 3 estágios para entender direitinho onde é que você inclina o corpo, entendeu?
He's my husband. And he knows all the details that I show. So I was gonna give this technique for the on the second time, but I can show it now. So as soon as I move, if I hold it here, I feel get stuck. So I move, look, my hips. Back to the boom, here. Now putting a lot of pressure on him. But the thing is, how many times do you get like a hard time passing his leg, right? Because we are so afraid of losing this arm that we get to hit it, right? Very close to him, very close to him. Then I don't have the space. But as soon as I do this, look how easy it is for me to pass the leg. Boom. I'm already there. So there's one more detail. Thank you. 1, 2, 3.
What really matters is the shoulder and the leg to squeeze inwards here. This is what's gonna matter. If you have long legs, you can get it and bye-bye. I spend a lot of time bringing this arm over here to the submission. Whereas if it's here, I just need to squeeze inwards here and put the head down. If the head doesn't bring up, it's still in the same position. The problem is you're gonna find if you have short legs, is that when I'm here, if you try to close her while he's going down, you're never gonna do it. Right? So if I stop this happening, if I try to go up here, it's not gonna go. Then I start adjusting inwards. If you have short legs, which is not my case, just need to squeeze it inwards here. Look. Okay? If you can fit it, do it, but squeeze inwards. I was squeezing a little bit low because he spoke 20 seconds without tapping the last time I showed him. So I was like, guys, look, you can do it like that. Look, and I squeeze it once. 20 seconds later, people looking.
Not working.
It's not working. So, I will show you the principles of the inverted triangle, which is very important to understand. It's not about the end, it's about the journey. If I lock here and I want to straight away lock the triangle, you won't be able to get it because you lost already the angle to squeeze inwards here. Invert a triangle, I cannot invert triangle here facing like that because my thigh has to be on the neck. I have to turn this way. Then it's a different thing. And that's the catch, because in the action-reaction, sometimes we end up in the middle, but I'm not aiming in the middle. I'm aiming there, he pulling back, he goes start the bit, and I squeeze. That's very important. Okay, so what I wanted to do, I will show you how I did it against the Dragon in the finals. I was this way. He tried to pass to this side. I said, no, and I opened the way for him, and he shoots straight away there. That was the principle of it. But when I shoot it, I want you to pay attention. When I shoot it from here, I don't shoot this leg to lock. I shoot this leg to block the shoulder, not to lock. Look at this, look. Now I lock, and it's on. If I would stretch here, it doesn't have the angle. So I shoot to go to the other side. Then I lock, while squeezing the most important thing of the triangle, the shoulder and my thigh on this side. If I'm here, look, check it out this leg. Look at his neck. I'm further away from his neck. Here, look, I'm closer to his neck. And that's the main thing. So start first with the side control. Push, turn, squeeze in first, then later you lock. Don't go this way. And then later, I'll go around and show the one-to-ones how to do this from the go. Make sense? 1, 2, 3.
Like no-gi, it's very slippery to attack from close guard. You know, it's difficult to keep control of the person, like not to hold the arm to the arm lock. Everything is very slippery. By the time you're trying to attack, is when the person usually stands up. So there's one situation that usually I'm constantly looking for the close guard is to isolate one of his arms on the outside. So that's my main goal. You can try either side. Everyone has a favorite side. Huh? So especially he doesn't have the gi to hold, so it's easy to remove hands out of the chest. Right? A lot of the times he goes for it. I like to do it to my right side, so I go the arm and I grab the head straight away. You know, I don't need the arm, I just want him close to me, I don't want him pushing. Then I go under my leg. Then I start kind of climbing up because I want my other arm on the other side. So this is my main goal, to isolate the arm and to push the head, because I can switch. So my arm is free now. I can use the arm for other things, and then I can keep the person trapped. Because when I get this grip, he's trapped. It's hard for him to stand up, to disengage. You know, so that way I can keep him locked into this position, and then I'm going to look for my attacks. So my attacks, of course, it depends on his reaction. The one thing that you can go straight away, if the person keep his arms on your chest, that the arm lock's gonna come very strong. Because when I move my hips, look, he cannot pull himself away with that grip. It's very hard. So usually, when you get to that position, that hand will be on the floor or on your chest. Because he wants, usually, if he's trying to push himself away from you, he'll push his body. So when I lock myself from that position, especially when I get here, he wants to move away from me. Then you move the hips, look, and the arm becomes very tight. Because with the arm over that, I have the arm lock, the triangle, and the omoplata. I mean, people who are flexible, you pull the leg, the omoplata is there anytime. So if you know what he's doing, he of course he will defend the arm. So he's going to try to keep the arm locked on my leg. This one you switch for the wrist. And now you can start pushing to free the leg. Also go for the triangle. Because here, the same thing, the triangle or the omoplata. It goes well with the triangle that barely taught. Because it's the principle of squeezing. Of course, if I want to go for the triangle, first thing now let go. You have to control the person's posture. He cannot lift his head up. And then start moving the hips to the other side. So even with his arms on the other side, I don't care. A lot of people care a lot about pulling the arm across. The last thing that I'm worried about is bringing the arm across. The only thing that I care is my hips to go out. So as long as the arm is not blocking my hips, I don't care about the arm here. People, they make a big effort about pulling the arm. First, for me to pull his arm, I have to release the head, hip posture. So the first thing that I want is that. So when I put my foot in the hips, so now my leg, even if he tries to resist, now that leg is fighting against his arm. And then you lock. Because, quick. Because that triangle is all about angles. You don't want to be on the same angle. If you're in a square, so that leg weakens that shoulder. So when I move my hips out, that leg it creates a lot of pressure on the shoulder. That's when his shoulder is going to attack this side of the neck. So that neck strangles one side, and his shoulder strangles the other side. So that leg it pushes his shoulder in. So for that, I need my hips out. So that way I can push the shoulder. If my hips on this side, see, I cannot push the shoulder. You see why my hips are turned? You cannot make the push and tap. It's all about pushing your hips out. And he's gone.
I use a chin strap because it locks his head in place so he can't move. I know we get tempted to go kind of like deep and just hug and squeeze. We feel like I'm going to squeeze and the guy's going to tap. But in my experience, it doesn't work very well. I like to first control the head and then slowly get his arm and make this little adjustment so when I squeeze, he taps faster and it's not like so much of me trying to muscle him. Okay, it's more technical. So I use this grip. You can see how on one side I have my fingers, on the other side I have my hand, the palm of my hand is locking his chin in place. Okay. And I think that's very important. Like I said, if my hand is on the other side, I might be choking him, but he's still able to move his head around. Okay, so I use this grip, and I'm not only locking him in place so he doesn't go to the left or to the right, but I'm also using that to drive pressure to his neck. So as I'm controlling him, I'm also making him very uncomfortable. Okay. I'm also using my elbow. It's very important to make sure he doesn't duck under my arm. That's another reason why I don't like this grip. Every time you go like this, you tend to kind of open your elbow, and then if the guy sees the opportunity, he can duck under, and then you end up. A lot of times he will take you down, and you're holding the head, but the guy's in side control. It's hard to finish. Okay. With this technique, I feel like he doesn't get that opportunity. I'm always closing this door. Okay? And on this side, of course, it's not going to go anywhere because I have my hand here. I can always push his head down, use my stomach, my ribs to control his head, control his posture. Like I said, it's not just keeping the head in place. It's also pulling the grip up and pushing the head down. So he's getting choked at the same time. Okay, but I don't want him to tap now. The goal now is just to make him uncomfortable. The next thing I need to do is make sure I go under his armpit. Okay, so I'm not going to connect my hands here. I'm not going to do a guillotine. Okay? I go under his armpit because I want to control his arm. Okay, that's the most important thing that I need to do in order to finish the anaconda choke. I need to have his arm. Okay, so I go under his armpit, and then my hand is gonna go and just give support to the first grip. So this grip's holding his chin. This one's gonna go there and just over it. So if he's trying to throw my grip off, I'm able to, have more control. It will be harder for him to do that. Okay, so see how this hand is just coming here and covering my other hand. Okay, once I get here, I can see how I have my fingers like gripping my hand there. I know it will be really hard for him to skate. Okay, so if you're able to make this connection, you have a solid position. Okay, now the only thing you need to do, you're gonna have to step over the arm so you can trap the arm with your leg. And the posture that you use for that is this posture here. You're not gonna be on your knees. Okay, you're gonna have your shoulder putting a lot of pressure on your opponent's shoulder or upper back, okay, on the opposite side of the arm that you want to trap, okay? If I drive my shoulder to this side, then his elbow gets down to the mat, and then it's just harder for me to step over and catch his arm. Then you end up having to kind of like overcommit and going this way, and you fall to the wrong side. And again, he's passing and you have the head. But you're not gonna finish because he's gonna get the second choke. You're gonna have to push, okay? So in order for me to be able to fall to the correct side, which is that side, I need to make sure that I'm putting the weight on this shoulder and I'm pulsing this leg. So I can move with him if I have to, and then I can pick it up. See how I'm driving my elbow up towards the ceiling, pulling him up. So when I see his elbow exposed, I can step over. So I go with my heel, I step over, now I'm gonna fall to this side. Super easy, you pretty much just sit down here, you fall, your elbow to your shoulder. Just make sure you don't keep going that way. Sometimes I see students trying this technique and they keep rolling. Then you end up letting your opponent go flat on his back, and that's not a good thing. He's gonna escape. So if I stop here, it's gonna be really hard for him to go that way. Because look the first grip we got. You see how I have my fingers right there? Turn that way, Tyner. See how I'm pulling? He's not gonna go. Now, if you had this grip here, then he might be able to do it if he's very explosive. Okay, so this is just to show you guys again how important it is to have this grip because you're able to pull, you have more control. Okay, so once I end up here, I have the arm right. It's time to make the switch from having just the chin strap to having the actual like anaconda position. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm gonna pull my bottom hand. So my top hand is gonna start pulling my bottom hand up. Okay, because look, if you just switch like this, it's just like walking a triangle and trying to squeeze. It's all tight. For the triangle, you have to get the right angle. You need to push the arm across. You need to move your hips. You make little adjustments. Then you finish, right? Here's the same thing. What I need to do is move my arm. I want to wrap my arm around his neck. So see how initially, when I have this grip, you see my elbow? Look how far my elbow is from his neck. You guys can see, can you see my elbow here? Yeah. Now when I make the switch, pay attention to my elbow. You see my elbow now? Change position, right? Once I get to this position here, and the whole time I'm trapping his arm because he's gonna be trying to open up space here. I'm pressing down. I can even lock my legs here. So if he's stronger like that. Okay? But here's the next step. You're pulling your hand the whole time. You're gonna keep your hands connected, but you're gonna unlock. You're gonna turn your thumb this way, and then you switch. Okay. What I see a lot is people trying to do this. Don't worry. When you extend your arm, maybe the guy grabs, or you're moving your arm away from the position. But your motion should be coming this way. I'm wrapping my arm around his neck. This way, and I lock. If I go here, and then I go like this, I just went backwards. Okay, so make sure the top hand pulls the bottom hand, and then you're always touching. The only thing you need to do is this. See, it's just this hand that's moving. This hand was holding it. I pull, now I switch and slide. You will know if you have the right position if your hand, the blade of your hand, ends up here. If you're smashing your fingers, you didn't adjust enough. Okay, so you have to go back and figure out how to wrap your arm around. And one of the advices is you're not only pulling this way, so let's say he's here, look. You should not only be pulling this way, but notice how I can like go out just a little, and then I go back in. And then once I lock in, I'm gonna roll towards him. It's like pulling the head when you have the triangle. Adds extra pressure. So I walk towards him. Sometimes the guy locks the half guard, even better. He's stuck there, I can lock him. Okay. But I think what's important here is to see how it isn't about just grabbing the head and squeezing as hard as I can. It's very technical. You have to make little adjustments, and you have to make sure that you initiate the position with a lot of control. So if you have a lot of control, and then as you move forward, you're making little adjustments, you're getting the position, making the position better and tighter, then that's leading you to the submission. Sometimes we rush the position because you're like, I want to finish. I want to finish too, but I know it'll be easier and more effective if I gain control, as I move towards the final lock, if I'm adjusting. Every time I move, I'm making an adjustment. When I fall, I adjust. When I pull the grip here to switch, I adjust the grip. When I do the switch, I adjust again. I'm always closing the gaps. And that's why when you end up here, you don't have to overpower your opponent. No, you just need to squeeze and maintain because the technique is good. It's like in the right position. Okay? So I just want to encourage you guys to see the little steps. Okay, study each transition. It's in the transitions that we get lost sometimes. So try to identify all the little transitions in the technique, because that's where the gap is. That's where you need to make sure you understand, so you close the gap, and when you get to the final position, boom, it works. Well, let's try.
Can we see it one more time?
Yeah, I can do one more time. I'll do a little bit faster so you guys can see the technique. Thank you. So see how I'm controlling his head, but just, he's gonna be moving, so I'm gonna be moving with him, controlling the head, and then I go here, boom, control. I elevate him, pull him up, he's gonna step over and fall. I wanna stay sideways as much as possible. Okay, now I'm gonna pull my hand up. I'm gonna do this a few times so you see, this is very important. I'm right here, look. Go here, look. Even like when I fall here, I make an adjustment right here. I just slide towards me. See, just a little scoot forward. Then I go here. Make the switch. This part is so important. Like you can't make this mistake. Okay? Remember, you want to stay tight. You're always pulling. You're always connected. Your hands are always like pushing against each other. Like then you make the switch. And then I slide down. Okay, so let's drill. I know like we have to go fast. That's why I want to encourage you guys to just understand the concept. It's the small adjustments along the way.
I'm either gonna roll this hand around, or if this hand's on the other side of my head, I'll just lift it. Okay? If this hand's on this side of my head, I'll bring my hand around, lock his leg here, and just start walking towards the head. From here, so in my grip here. A lot of times, he doesn't block the Kimura, I'll just finish it. Right? So he'll put his hands together. I'm gonna be looking for this little gap here. So that's what I'm doing. Once I get my foot here, I'm gonna hold him in place with my hand. I'm gonna bring my left leg back, and I'm gonna sit my sides. From there, my right hand will hold his hip here, and I push him, and I'm gonna turn my knee out. Get his head out. Once his head is out, I'm gonna pass the hand off. I'm gonna turn to my right hip. As he's coming to my right hip, I don't want him to flip over too fast and the car will hold him. Okay? So one of the things I do is I kind of hold him with the hand, but what I'm going to bring the other hand across to catch him. Over there. I can use his left hand here to open up his neck. I'll bring the right hand around like so, I'll grab his shoulder and I'll kind of make a little stub with this. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm gonna get it deep under the neck, but I'm gonna make a little stub with this. And from here, my hand, you can put it behind me, this works as well too, but I'm gonna kind of keep it here. I'm gonna draw his hand away, but I'm gonna start choking him. But I'm not gonna pursue his hand. Like if his hand comes out wide like that, I'm just gonna keep it like a cactus because I know it has to come back to the wrist. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to come out here like 3 hand up wide, and then like miss and have him put my hand and flick it off. You know what I mean? So I'll keep it like a cactus. In the meantime, I'm just pulling my elbow back and I'm choking him. If he punches his hand in that manner, then I'll. Right? So it is open here except for that space that way. So he punches that way, and then I'll let it go and I'll strangle him. I have control here. I use my knee to kill the arm, cast it off, draw it away from his head. And I start attacking like when I switch it off, I block his legs so he can follow. It doesn't block. Blocks just like I hold his body down with his own hand. That's straight down here. And from here, 2 things I gotta do. I'm gonna use the hand to kind of stop him from bridging over, but I also open my knee up and then break his bridge. That slides him free. When he slides free, I gotta turn my hips because I know he's gonna see his little one side downwards. And from there, but yeah, see, by turning up, I keep my feet flat on the mat, I turn my right hip, it exposes his neck. His neck comes open, wrap around his neck. I get my chin on it, you can just pull your elbow back, you can finish him right there. Don't pursue his hand. I will hold his hand, don't get me wrong, I don't want his hand to get free, but you know, I'm not gonna get tricked to draw my hand out outside of protection. Give it like a shield, you put it behind your head, that works as well. But if he punches it across him, then I'll let it go and get it.
Now I'm gonna sit and stay here. That's a game that all you guys gotta have in your no-gi. Why? I'm not committing my body to him. I'm just making a scoop here and getting this. This, guys, just for you guys to have an idea what we're gonna do here, doesn't allow him to come with the leg like if we are 3/4 guards, he can kind of kneel on the ground and kind of start to putting pressure on me and getting here. If I get this knee won't go to the ground because if I'm in on him, okay? You see what I'm saying? And on another thing, it's the basic butterfly look. This way or this way. That's all you need for this technique. Another thing, another common mistake. Everybody gets so exciting for the leg that you guys are going with the hand over there. If you go with the hand, you break the synergy of the movement. You don't have to commit the hand until your body is behind him. So what I'm here, I'm kind of messing with him here. You don't know if I go. Now I'm on myself here. And now I'm here. That's the position I'm gonna stop. And now I'm just gonna cover here. Going to the side. Okay? The 3/4 guard is a good guard, but allow, for example, if I do 3/4 guard with Mark, I'm trouble. Why? He's gonna 3/4 guard Mark on the ground. Yeah. If I'm here, man, I'm never gonna move this guy here.
What we were talking about before is that his offense is when my center of gravity is higher. The second my center of gravity gets down, he's got no leverage. No. So when he's up here and he gets me in from here, he has just an unlimited amount of stuff he can do. And this is what we were talking about before. The difference between wrestling and submission grappling is that when you're submission grappling, you are almost in 3 dimensions. That like in wrestling, fundamentally they go, okay, you can't roll to your back, you can't reach behind you. You have like fundamental stuff that you're taught, but when you're in submission grappling, all that's off the table. You can roll, you can go to your back, you can reach behind you, you can do a lot of stuff which opens up your whole entire paradigm of what you're trying to accomplish.
And another thing you hear, guys, this again, Mark. Don't get married with the position. Marry with your game plan, with your strategy. Because you gotta believe it's gonna work. I'm here with Mark. I cannot get it. It's like blah, 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 blah. Technical stand up. Mark is gonna stand up. He's a wrestler. Oh, here I am again. Here I am again. I know that my game, if I put somebody with the shin here, I'm gonna have a good chance. I'm married with my game. I believe that. That's one of the things that the champion can never doubt of himself. If you don't doubt yourself, you're a champion. Because a champion, no matter how things go wrong, how things go down, how to they count you out, always got a chance. I have a champ Megaton here that we share like the match for so long. It's one of the mentalities that we have. Man, if you have 10 seconds, I still go. I still have a chance. I still gotta go there. So if you like it tired, that is the nature of fight. If you don't get tired, you're not gonna know who you are. Yeah. And that's one of the things. I'm tired. Boom, boom, boom. Right away. But this is an offensive pull. You feel it?
So he's got this, so he can't run away, right? Look where his pivot points are. His pivot points. Look where he can generate leverage.
Another thing, guys. Everybody has the tendency to grab in this heel. You don't need to grab the heel. This foot does the job. Because he's not gonna try to run with the way he wants. I catch him. I catch him here. I catch him here. I'm here. And another thing, guys, I'm having fun with Victor because that's one of the fights that I never had, and so I'm having the fun of my life here. Be able to, him and his brother having the highest. That's one thing about this game, guys. You get some connections, like some spiritual connections, some honest connections that you won't have anywhere in the world. And I'm a big fan of his work, and I believe that as well with me, my brother and I. And this kind of bond that you have with martial arts that you take to the world, and when we see each other, we hug each other, people kind of look and kind of, what these guys are doing? It's like something special. And this is something special that maybe you didn't get today, but Saulo thought about this front hook. That's my special gift to you guys that took me like years to develop the dark rules. But until today, I strongly believe that's one of the great tools that we have for submission wrestling for the guy who doesn't run. And my brother, Kovac, and Victor are going to try to show that and see if it's working in real practice. Okay, let's
break
try,
up, get a partner, break up, come around, make correction.
Watch out!
Just reaching out with that one arm. So if my right leg's forward, I lower my level, and then I'm going to grab that closest point to me, and I'm going to transition. Once I transition, my shoulders have to stay square to his hips. My shoulders stay square to his hip. I'm almost, when I transition and lower my level, I'm hitting his pelvic almost, or in between his belly button and his pelvic with my shoulder, and then my shoulders come square. So it's like this. Lower my level, transition, and I hit him hard. It's like, it's amazing how much energy and how much force and power you can generate by lowering your level and transitioning energy into the person. It's not this, guys. It's not this. A lot of times what happens when you're sprawling with somebody and you're sparring with them, you'll have a tendency when you get tired to lower your level here. It's so much easier for him to defend against that. Like we were saying, this is literally every day. Every day. He does it every day.
That's exercise. They say 9 days, guys. 9 days, five minutes before you go to shower.
Every day.
Why? Because we have, as a grappler, we have the tendency to do this. And here I'm already out of balance. I gotta disappear, but at the same level. From here, I'll go. And once I'm here, I'm not gonna go like this. I'm gonna hop. And that's the big thing that makes the whole difference for me to understand the principles of wrestling.
The number one thing is transitioning, lowering my level. If I don't do that, it is just an uphill battle.
Eager to get the leg, huh? That's why they do like this a lot.
They want to get the leg. If you're doing everything correctly and he sprawls, what happens when you're lowering your level, your back straight, your center of gravity's over you, and you take your shot, when he sprawls, he's gonna pull me into his legs. So when I lower my level here and I goes to shot. Second he sprawls, it pulls me into him. It pulls me into him. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's do this real quick. We're just gonna transition and then shot. I'll come around, make corrections, and I'm gonna show you a couple little finishes. So break up, get your partners, go. Push.
All the time. All my game starts here. All the time. I can keep the distance. I can control him. If he come sit down, I can put back. So I like to control here for everything. Okay? So I go past inside, not around. Not too much move, just inside. So I control here and I go one time. I keep his foot beside my leg and control the other leg here. That's my move. I stop here. And then if he starts to escape for the side, I go together him, keep him tight, close, like that. Control all the time here. That's my way. Okay? So then to pass, I change first my hand, put on the knee. And then I start to pressure him like that. And I wait for him to push me back like that. That's the time. I work in this time. So I come here, and then when he push back, whoop! Kick high and come back. And hold him. Here, this knee. The most important is put all your weight in the leg, like that, to block him. Okay, put your weight here, and then you move all your body. Kick high and move your body. Boom, boom. Turn around. Okay. The only defense here is try to get with the hook. So that's why you gotta kick high, really high. Okay, and block his leg. If you have to block the leg for 1 second, just 1 second here, you can turn around. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Don't worry about move his leg. Don't worry about that. Just put all your weight in the leg, block, stop the leg, and then you move around. Okay? That's gonna try. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so in this scenario now, what Ricardo did is going to be pretty much the same thing I'm going to do here, but a little bit different scenario. Now I have the half guard. So the knee shield, I'm always expecting the knee shield. I'm here, I don't want to pass. I stay here a little bit, and I wait for the knee shield. When you put the knee shield, it's there what I want. I come here, look. Not here. Here, on the top of the leg. My elbow is here. Now, seem kind of far. If I'm inside, I'm already in the deep half. It's going to be a problem. Yeah. So I'm here. I fight for the shoot. Yeah. I put him back. Yeah. So look, I push. When he pushed back, I throw his knee all the way. I look down. I look that way. When I look to the other way, my shoulder gets in the right spot. We fall here. My shoulder must be on the belly button. With the gi, it would be on the knot of the belt. You feel it. If I'm a little bit higher, it won't work. So I'm here, knee shield. I push, I throw the knee, I look back, look. Oh, I fall. When I fall, I don't hold anything. I just lock my elbows. Sometimes, come over here guys, come over here. Sometimes my hand gets stuck here. I grab my knee and I walk with my knee. Yeah, now I got a good grip. Look, now that I'm here, see, he's already put, I didn't ask him, he's already putting his hand there because the pressure is, I'm not doing anything, but it's very annoying, my shoulder on his belly button. So now look, I'm gonna tuck my toes on the floor, I'm gonna raise my butt, I'm gonna open my leg, and I'm gonna kick his leg. You see, when I kick his leg, now I exchange my knees, and I walk towards there. My left arm advances. You see him doing, that's music to me. I like that. It means that he's working. My hip is down, I'm pinching my elbow to my knee here, so now escape the hip.
Eventually, he's here, and when he pushed me, I hit fight. Look. Come back, come back, come back. Look. I was here, man. Look my hip. He skipped the hip, I follow him. And I pass. Here. Boom. I follow him. It's called the hip fight.
And guys, they don't want to get taken down. So a lot of things they're going to do, they're going to drop the level. But when they drop the level, I believe the head get more exposed. If the head is more exposed, I feel like any moment I'm going to snap one hand down, one hand on the back of the neck, and the other hand's going to tuck under his chin. So any moment I know he's defending the neck, hands together. So the hand that was in the back of the neck slide to the hand under his neck. I got my way on top. Now, guys, my legs are exposed because his leg is so like below me right now. So my leg has to go to the side. I don't want you to take it out. I don't want him to control my legs. So my leg goes to the side. And when I say to the side, like really off to the side. At the same time, guys, that his head goes down. I need to make sure his head goes down. At the same time that I land on the floor, legs are free. When I say free, I'm exaggerating, right? But at the same time, like my elbow goes here, and the elbow goes up. My elbow goes up, guys, because I want to hold his weight. A big defense is when the person tries. Defense of somebody's taller, so he can easily put their shoulder on my face. You can have a perfect position, but a shoulder on your face. So maybe he's just heavy, so I don't want his weight on top of me. So elbow goes high to kind of like a frame to keep that away from me. So what I'm gonna try to do, like an elbow high. But my elbow only is going to go higher if I want to hold myself. If your elbow is low, just go inside your elbow is going to go much higher. And that was just like the beginning of the plan. The beginning of the plan, guys, that a lot of people has difficulty to stick to the plan, to initiate the plan, to kind of like commit to the plan. So on my mind, I go straight to the toe, right? But guys, doesn't matter you have a plan. Your plan maybe doesn't work, but doesn't matter. This is part of the plan. I'm gonna go 100%. I go to the neck. If I make it tap, great. If I don't make it tap, it's part of the plan. He didn't tap. But now on my mind, I know the plan. He's now is like, and that was close. Or he's really wanna go to my neck. So what I'm gonna do now? I'm still gonna go after him. I'm still gonna go after him. But on his mind now, he's worried about like his neck. But what's gonna be more exposed now? His head is definitely not gonna be much lower anymore. So on my mind now, I can go to the arm track. And he can go either way. Either way, because I hope his legs are going to be more exposed. And exposed, like not just for the arm drag, but for double leg, for single leg. There's a big variety of options. And guys, what I'm trying to say over here is just like an example of my plan, example of a plan. And when I say example of a plan, they're like, I'm not going to change my plan, and I'm going to pull him straight to my plan before he pulls me to his game. And guys, the worst thing is like, I don't want to let him initiate it. If he initiate, like, I don't want to begin a match like getting a takedown. I don't want to begin a match has to sprawl. I want to begin a match like make he has to defend something. So this is all part of the plan. When you begin a match, guys, you just want to stick to the plan. It is one of the hardest things. When I say the hardest thing, like, a lot of people make a lot of plans, but then when they step on the mat, they just kind of like or maybe they just like, oh no, I'm gonna wait to see what he's gonna do. So that's why, like, just have a simple plan and commit to the plan. But obviously, pray to change it will happen. Alright, let's go try guys.
So I want you guys make the grip first, just like so. Everybody, please make this way with the thumb. There you go. Again, preference, okay? This way or this way. I like to go this way, and the reason why they can break the grip, right? So I'm gonna grab this way. Thumb, chin strap. Now my arm goes all the way across and grabs Marcelo's triceps and across his arm. Once I do that, next step over here, I'm gonna pull him up just a bit, make space. My shin goes around Marcelo's. Yep, there it is. Now I can step the leg over. Notice that my hand is passing all the way through. Now, this part, all I need to do, lift my hips, put the pressure, and Marcelo's going to tap on the arm in. If it doesn't tap, he's going to roll. If you look so Marcelo, please. Now I'm gonna get a free right, getting my left foot on the mat, get it to the mount position. I adjust, drop my hips over Marcelo's arm, across over his face. Now I'm gonna arch, and Marcelo's gonna tap once again from the mount position. He has such a good defense, he's gonna push me off. There it is. I roll, I go north-south, take my time. Now we're going back to the chin strap jab. So now what we do, he's putting the arm up, I can't get to the mount position. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fish his arm, just like so, turn on the side. Now, one detail over here I want to take home.
pull the arm. And the reason why, if I stay here, I grab my biceps and I start moving, I'm going to burn out my grips and I won't be able to finish. But if we do the way I'm telling you, pull the arm as much as you can. Look at my hand, left hand. It goes almost to my triceps. Now I start moving towards Marcelo's legs, pinch by my knees, and walk towards the legs. And what's going to cause the strength over here is doing this with Marcel's head, with my stomach. Are you guys following me? Yeah.
He's the handsome one with them. And the worst, only my mind that disagrees, nobody else. This is wrong, you know? You see, I started working in a movie, and it really affected me. But it's completely different from everything that we are used to. We are addicted to go to the regular grip, get across side, drive the shoulder, you know, boom, and be tight here. I began position myself low, just like this, elbow on the floor, and my hand on the floor like this. I start position my shoulder, ready to choke him, and I squeeze my armpit in a level that he cannot get his hand inside. Put your hand there. Doesn't come here, look. Now I slide, touch his armpit with my thumb, and then I turn. I squeeze even lower, look. I squeeze into his chest, like my shoulder. And now I slide the shoulder forward. In reality, this move doesn't work, but I gave him $100 before. Collect for every each move. It's gonna be expensive, doesn't matter. Something's wrong with you. You imagine the guy, since he's 16, he's like my grandfather. Complain, angry.
He start talking.
Wanna do everything by the book.
Wait.
What is this?
Wait. I don't say nothing about him in my time. And now he start talking about me. We make a book together.
Complaining already. Look.
We make a book together.
The first thing he said when we get the book, you see how good it is to take a picture with the ugly guy?
There we go.
I look more handsome.
Let's finish the position.
That's what sells the book. He's an ugly guy in the cover, you and a handsome me. Guys, extremely important. Armpit heavy on it. The hand cannot get in. It's going to be different from everything you guys did. In order to do this, my knees there, the heel has to be under my butt. I have to be here. So this way I have the power and position to, and weight on the position. Look, this elbow locks the hip. He looks even like I'm a little wrong. And he can push me out. He cannot. The hip is locked in both directions. He can't go nowhere from here. See, then I position the armpit right there. Palm, fingers facing forward. I slide. Now I squeeze even lower, look. Squeeze low and then slide. $200. A lot of times when I choke leg belts, I look at them. Because on their head, this doesn't work. And they pass out. You gotta come. You start putting on the cell. That's how efficient it is, you know? And it's very subtle. And I love from half guard. Same thing from half guard. Even easier, look. I'm already there, look. See, half guard is better because your leg is between you, control where he's going. And the choke comes right in. Let's get your partner, give him some love. Ready, guys? Good.